Hey guys, welcome back to ED Figure Unboxing. If you're finding me for the first time, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the future content. And in this video, we're going to take a look at Figma number 358, Hinata Shoyo from Haikyu. And Haikyu is definitely one of the better animes I've seen in a while. Personally, I don't watch that much anime anymore, but I did like this anime a lot. And the only question I have when I saw this figure was, how many characters are they really going to release? Because everyone has their personal favorite, and there's just a lot of characters they can do. I would love to see the whole team and more, but we all know that's not going to happen. Realistically, I'd say we're going to see at most 3 more before they move on to other series. But I don't know. The only thing we can do is show them we want it by purchasing it. Well, anyways, here is the left of the box, here is the right of the box, and here is the back of the box. And that's not wasting any more time, and bust this thing open and see what we got. And here we have the figures still in their inner packaging, and it does come with a fair amount of accessories for a modern Figma. Pretty cool that we're getting the volleyball net, but I feel like it would have been perfect if we can get another faceplate. I do have the pre-order bonus, but I feel like all the face expression choices are a little bit too, a little bit too chill to me. This is a very energetic, competitive, and hot-blooded anime, right? And even the shouting face looks a little bit too passive to me. I just don't feel the fierce. Kind of like Lonzo Ball, if you get the reference. I would really like to see something like this one. This one is probably my favorite. Well, this one is a little bit passive aggressive, but maybe something like this, right? Something simple like this. But anyways, that's just my personal opinion. Do let me know in the comments on what you think, and let's check out the figure itself. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and as expected from Max Factory, the figure is pretty much perfect in terms of paintwork and sculpt. They're very good when it comes to anime characters, and this guy is no exception. And I think Max Factory pretty much monopolized the anime market, maybe except for Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon. And I'm talking about 6-inch action figures, of course. And let's just take a closer look at the figure. Everything is very nicely painted and sculpted, and you can read Karasu no Juban. It just looks very, very nice. And I know a lot of people complain about Figma being too expensive, but you're paying for the high skilled labor. Like, if you want this kind of attention to detail and paint quality, you have to pay up. But anyways, let's check out the articulation. And for the articulation, let's quickly go over from the neck down. He can look up about this much, look down about this much, and you can turn his head no problem. And the shoulder is on a standard ball joint, but they did cut the plastic out here a little bit, so it gives you more range. You can raise his arm up about this much. You do have shoulder swivel, bicep swivel, and curl about this much, and you do have the ball wrist. And his body is on a softened material, so it won't hinder your articulation when you're trying to raise his arm or do some ab crunch. And he can bend forward about this much, bend backwards about this much, and you do have some side-to-side movement. And for the leg, you can kick up about this high, bend about this much. You do have thigh swivels over here, and you can also swivel through the knee over here as well. And you do have toe hinge, side-to-side pivot, and all that good jazz. I believe that's it for the articulation, and let's check out the accessories. And for the accessories, we can start with the default face, and I think it looks great. Has the right amount of seriousness and a little bit of a fire in him. Pretty good. And next up, we get a shouting face when he's spiking the volleyball, and it looks pretty good as well. And then we get a very exciting smiling face for the love of volleyball. And lastly, we have the tempted expression from the pre-order online bonus, and it looks pretty good as well. And you can actually see the volleyball in his eyes. It's pretty cool. And next up, as usual, we have the rack of hands, and let's try them on one by one. And first off, we have a pair of disposable hands for volleyball spike, and it looks pretty good. And then we get a pair of accessories holding hands, or you can use these as, when he's wiping out his sweat, and it looks pretty good. And we get just one left hand for the water bottle. The bottle looks a little bit cheap, but it does the job. It fits right on. And next up, we get a pair of hands to hold the volleyball. The volleyball is very nicely painted and sculpted, of course. And let's try this on. And here I have it assembled with the volleyball, and it looks amazing. And lastly, we get the hands to receive the volleyball, and let's try this on. And here's the receiving pose, and it looks pretty good. And lastly, he does come with a volleyball net, which is pretty cool. It's got a really good size, but hopefully they can release more characters so we can have a full game going on, right? Because I don't want to show you to practice along all the time. But anyways, let's jump straight into some action poses. Anyways, that was just some quick posing, and I hope you guys find that helpful. And after playing around with it, I think I like the figure even more. Very fun to pose with. But anyways, let's jump straight into the size comparison. And for the size comparison, let us start with some Dragon Ball SH figure arts. And as you guys can see, Shoyo is actually reasonably short, and I really like that. And next up, we have some Naruto SH figure arts, and they look very good together as well. And if you are interested in buying the Akatsuki robe, I'm selling them personally, and the link is down in the description below. And then we have some American IP SH figure arts, some Kamen Rider SH figure arts, and then we have some Mesco 112 Collective. And again, if you're still looking for a good trench coat for your Punisher, I'm also selling them, and the link is also down in the description below. And lastly, we have some recent Figma figures, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so overall, I did like the figure quite a lot, and I do highly recommend it. Especially if you're a big fan of Haikyu, then this figure is pretty much a must-have. Beautiful paintwork, amazing sculpt, and it's really fun to pose with. The articulation is really good. And the only issue I have with this figure is that I just don't like some of the faces they include in there. But that has nothing to do with how good or bad the figure is. It's just a personal preference. Hopefully the line can do well and we can continue to see more characters, but I highly doubt they're going to make more than 3 because they do that all the time. But anyways, do let me know in the comments on what you think and what characters you would like to see. And yeah, this is Eric. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.